All right. Oh, okay. Come on. All right. So this will be a challenge. If this actually works or not, I don't know. So we'll see. So, hey everyone, my name is Josh Baldovino, and today I'm going live. This is kind of like the raw, uncut version of me filming a YouTube video. I'll cut this down for those who don't want to see the me putting the baby to sleep and all that good stuff. But this is going to be talking about our Tamarack Duplex and how much money we make on it every single month, how much equity we created now that we've refinanced everything. So, if you have thought about doing the BRRRR strategy, thought about investing out of state, this is where I'm just going to break it all down real quick, answer any questions you have either on YouTube or on Instagram, and we'll see how long this monster lasts without it going crazy. So let's jump into it. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's see here. So if I actually, let me pull this guy again. If you're on YouTube, this is the uncut version. I'll put me down there small so that way those on Instagram can also see. But if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. So let's talk about the Tamarack Duplex. This duplex was interesting. So first, how I found it. This was straight off the MLS, the multiple listing server. I found this on Zillow using, oh, there's a typo there, I need a space, but using my Zillow web scraper tool. For those who haven't seen it yet, you can either scroll either on my reels on Instagram or on TikTok. And I actually pinned it on the top of my TikTok. This was actually a TikTok that got me this video has the most videos, and this is automatically pulling Zillow data, and then scraping it, and then from there it's calculating how much money you could potentially, or what the rent to price ratio is from that data. So pretty interesting. But let's talk about the property first. So this is a subject property that we found. It is a duplex in Columbus, Ohio, and boom, boom, boom. That's our agent who's walking it. It was currently tenant occupied on both sides. It was a 2-1 on each side, so a total of 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, but 2-1 on each side. It's a pretty small duplex actually as well. As you can tell, it needed a lot of love. The current tenants did not take great care of it. The owners took care of some stuff, but not a lot of things. You guys can see it on Instagram too. Okay. For this one actually was really nice. I really like this deal because it also had a detached 4-car garage. So that was pretty cool. And you can see the duplex. It is, again, pretty small. We purchased this about March of last year. So I found it in February of last year, purchased it in March. The neighborhood was a really great neighborhood, and this was just a duplex that obviously, as you can tell, it just had a lot of deferred maintenance. So how we funded it. We did fund this through hard money. For those who don't know what hard money is, real quick, it is a loan product. I'd say most times most investors use it as a fix and flip loan product. So it's a short-term loan, but very high interest. For example, we had about 12% interest on this. And I know that, oh my God, 12% interest is crazy. I'll break down the numbers. I'll tell you why we thought it was worth it. But they funded about 85% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab. And I also had a partner on this one. So Hannah and I partnered with her best buddies up in SAC. Hey, Denise and Maddie, if you guys are seeing this. But this is how we funded the deal. Okay. So then let's talk acquisition numbers. So when we bought the property, it was listed for $135,000. If you're thinking about the BRRRR strategy, and that's you buy a property, you rehab it, then you refinance, then you rent it, then you refinance, and then you repeat. The goal of that is to buy an asset that's cheap. So buy a house that needs some work, that needs some love, that you can fix up. And then from there, you add value to it by, of course, making it nice, pretty, and brand new again, so that you can either raise the rents in it. The property is worth more money because it generates more income. And then the bank will go ahead and give you more money based on all the improvements that you've done to the property. So $135,000 was what it's listed for. We got it locked in for $130,000. Hard money, fast close. The rehab budget that we have is about $55,000. And then I initially thought that, hey, I think we could get roughly about an estimated after repair value or ARV of $210,000. And so that's important because that defines how much money you're going to end up leaving into the deal after you refinance. Ideally, you want to refinance, cash out, refi all of your money out. Um, in this case, we were okay with roughly leaving about $30,000 to $40,000 as a partnership in the deal. I know, crazy, right? But we'll get to the good part. So here's the total project cost, right? Again, uh, if you include the purchase price and rehab, then total project costs, not including interest and things like that, would roughly be about $185,000. Um, our hard money lender, which was a local lender out in Columbus, they were okay lending up to 83% of the total loan to cost of the project. So, meaning that they gave us a loan of $154,000 at 12% interest. Um, that's still crazy. Let me know if you've used hard money before. Let me know in the comments or in the chat on Instagram as well. Again, it's better on YouTube if you're on Instagram. Anyways, and so what we had to bring to the table at closing, including our down payment and our closing costs, was roughly about $31,000. And I will say, hard money also has a significantly higher, not significantly higher, but it does have higher points, right? So meaning, I think we closed about either 1.5 to 2 points. So that's how much, basically what percentage of the loan are you putting down as a origination fee? The lender has to make money. Everyone's got to make money on this deal, right? Um, so that's how much we are for all in. I will say he fell back asleep, so I think we're doing okay, guys. So hard money. Again, it's a short-term fix and flip loan, high interest, right? With the intention of refinancing after you're done. Um, the one thing about hard money too is that 9 times out of 10, it's actually going to be interest only payments, meaning that every single month I'm giving them interest on the loan with no principal coming into it at 12% interest. To keep numbers round, I'm just rounding it for you guys. So that means every single month I was giving them $1,500. We were using the loan. We didn't get to refi until 8 months later, which means that I roughly gave them about $12,000 in interest over the course of 8 months. Would you give someone $12,000 to do a deal like this? Let me know. Are you guys in? Have you guys used hard money before? Okay. So that means our total money in, including down payments plus closing costs plus hard money costs, about $43,000. I will say the one caveat to hard money is, again, they're a fix and flip loan. They help fund the purchase. They help fund the rehab. But you also have to have enough cash saved up to front the cost of the construction draws. Meaning, say for this instance, the construction was $55,000, and say the contractor wanted $15,000 for materials and to get started. The hard money lender isn't going to give you $15,000 up front to start the project. You have to have reserves on the side to then give the contractor $15,000 if that's how you negotiated it. And then the hard money lender will actually give you money on the back end after as a reimbursement. So something to note as well, you have to have enough liquid. Most hard money lenders will say about 6 months of liquidity of what the interest only payments are, plus some reserves for the rehab just in case. Okay, here's the good news. Initially, I thought that the duplex would be worth $210,000. It actually ended up appraising because of great appreciation over last year, appraising for $245,000. That's $35,000 more than we thought it was going to be worth. Which means that when you do a cash out refi, a lot of lenders for a duplex, so that's 2 units. But for the duplex, they gave us a loan of 75% of the value of the property. So we were able to pull out $183,750. The total cash out, right, was $24,000. So after paying off our initial loan, which let me go back over here. Where did it go? Project cost, loan. Where are we? Hard money cost? Oh, right here. So total loan was 154. So I have to subtract that 183 from 54. So that gives me my balance of roughly about 24 grand. Again, rounding it just to make numbers easy. Um, which means that, we had a good amount of money left in. We left, roughly about $7,000 in. Our equity created, though, that means that's the difference between these two. So that 245 minus 183 means that there is about $61,000 of value that's left in the property that when we sell the property eventually, we can then be able to cash out of and be able to use those funds. As the area continues to appreciate, we can also use those funds then. But I know the fun part of befores and afters is, of course, showing you what the after looks like, not just, of course, the numbers. So again, for those who are just joining on Instagram, here's the before pictures of the property. This is a duplex in Columbus. I'll flip through them real quick. You know what? I would say on YouTube, I need to share the screen too. So here, share screen, and let's share this one. Okay. Whoa, that's the wrong screen to share. This is much harder than I thought it was going to be with a sleeping baby. So just give it a thumbs up for doing this while a sleeping baby so we can see. So let's stop this one. And I want to share, not slides, just share my screen. Sharing screen with two monitors. Yes. The top one. There we go. Okay. So now you can guys see the pictures. All right. So this again was the before picture. Hasn't been updated in 20 years. Bathroom was real nice, and they even bought the wrong size toilet seat. Oh, come on. But both the tenants and the owners had a little bit of deferred maintenance. I'd say it was a bit of a cosmetic plus. Most of the mechanicals, though, were in pretty good shape. So that means that your plumbing, electrical, all of that good stuff is in good shape. Okay, so that's the before. It did also have a 4-car detached garage. Let's talk about the after now, which I believe should be these ones. Yep, let me make this bigger. The one gripe about the phones being better is that everyone takes pictures with their phones and everyone does them vertically. I will say, always take pictures, especially for real estate, horizontally, meaning turn your phone from your Instagram story mode just to your sideways. You'll be able to see more that way. But oh, come on, make it bigger. Anyways, as you can tell, we did basic gray, some LVP throughout. Spent way too much on appliances, to be honest. I should have double checked the appliance package a little bit more, just because these were definitely way too nice for, even way too big for what we needed. But what I like about this one, very modern, right? We have the full tile surround with the black hardware. The basement gets dry locked and painted throughout. And then, of course, where was the kitchen? Let's see here. There we go. The kitchen was very small to begin with. I don't know if you can see this. But shaker cabinets, black hardware, granite countertops. We did include a dishwasher, and that was an extra, $600-700 per unit. But it was a nicer area. We thought that we can get better quality tenants if we had that dishwasher as a plus. It did take up a cabinet spot, so some pros and cons there. But overall, got to be a great rental product. So this is now, and let me blow this up for everybody here. And not too big because of Instagram. So this is how much money we are grossing from the property. So it's a duplex. And once we got it rehabbed and rented out, it took about, I'd say 2.5 months to actually get tenants in there in place. We initially priced it too high. Our property manager thought that the property was done beautifully and ended up putting it for, I think it was like $1,350 aside. It was a small 2-1 with the kitchen layout being not so great. And so we did have to drop it $50 here and there, $50. I think I actually had it for $1,300. But we eventually got a tenant in there for two tenants in there on each side for $1,200. We have the RUBS, so that's our rent that we bill back to, I'm sorry, that's our utilities that we bill back to them at $60 a month because we pay for water, sewer, trash. The tenant pays for their utilities since it's separately metered. And then there is a pet fee, although I don't know why the other pet fee is only $11, but one person is paying 25 bucks, the other one's paying 11 bucks. Maybe they got a fish. Didn't really ask. And so we're bringing in a total of $2,556 per month. Um, Scrolling down a little bit more. Oh, I double that slide. Okay. So what we're netting is very different, right? Meaning that after taking account for expenses, so your PITI, that's your property insurance taxes, is $1,237 a month. Our management fee is $50 per unit, so $100 per month for the duplex. Water, I estimate it's a little high, 150. It's usually about 50, 60 bucks. So, give or take 20, 30 bucks here and there. So our total expenses that we are debiting every single month is $1,487. And then, of course, you have to save for your maintenance, which maintenance is twice there. Again, doing this with a sleeping baby, maybe not a great idea. Anyways, we have maintenance at $127, CapEx, meaning that's your major repairs. You're saving for your roof, your water heater blows out, things like that. $127 a month that we're just putting aside. Vacancy, of course, when you don't have a tenant in there, you want to make sure that you have some reserves aside to make sure that you don't have to come out of pocket for any vacancies. So we save 5% of the income there. So total, we're roughly saving about 380 bucks every single month just for these expenses. So that means we are netting $685 a month as a partnership. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, we are doing this with my wife's besties. And so after splitting it every single month, we are withdrawing $342 per month in positive cash flow for us. Now, right, none of this is was it worth it, right? Was all of this worth it for $342 per month? I think the big thing to talk about, right, is where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? The after repair. Come on, mind it. Okay. This is what's more fun is that in 8 months' time, that's how long this project took. We created $60,000 in equity. Yes, we can tap into it right away. Yes, it's not liquid, right? But it's sitting in the property. And yes, of course, the real estate market could dip a little bit. It could go up a little bit. But our goal is to hold this for the next 5 to 7 years. So it's not we're holding that blue chip stock for a long time. But the fact that we can create $60,000 by project managing an asset and finding an asset that needs some work does make it worth it. So my question to you is, would you pay $12,000 over the course of the project plus some origination fees of $7,000, say 20 grand? Would you give someone $20,000 of your cut, basically the lender, 20 grand of your cut, to then create for yourself $60,000 of equity and have a positive cash flow, say you just by yourself, of $685 per month? Would you do it? Let me know on Instagram. What kind of financing did I use? I used hard money. So I used a hard money lender called Wildcat Lending. They're a Texas-based hard money lender that has an office in Columbus, Ohio. I really wanted to use, as we were starting this journey, I wanted to use a local, let me stop the screen. I wanted to use a local hard money lender just because I wanted their contacts, right? If the account executive who at that time was also doing flips and rehabs in the area, if he was making money on me doing deals, I wanted to be able to tap into his network and his team's network. So that's how I used to fund it. Let me know what other questions you have. Is there anything else here? I'll have to redo part of that beginning of the YouTube video just because I didn't share my screen fast enough. Some more notes that I have. Let's see here. Let's go to my Trello board. I'll move this up so you guys can still see me better on YouTube, always, right? And I'll leave this big. Okay. So what went wrong? I would say the underwriter on closing changed his criteria of how much money he wanted or what percentage of the loan to value he wanted to do on this deal. So initially on the HUD, I think we had to come in at like 14 grand or something like that. Um, After their calculations, last minute, he said, "Hey, if you want to close on this deal tomorrow, you have to come in with 27." So $13,000 more, $6,000 each more for the partnership. And at that time, I was like, "Oh man, like that really sucks." Would I do it again in a heartbeat? Totally. Um, what else went wrong? We actually almost backed out of this deal because the ARV that we were expecting at that time, and again, you always have to be conservative. So I was super conservative on what the after repair value would be. Um, I was thinking it's going to be 210, which means that our max loan to value would be, I don't know, quick math on top of my head, like 155, something like that. That means we would be leaving $40,000 in the deal. And between our partners and I had to say, "Hey, are you okay leaving in $20,000 each for this deal?" That means you're parking at 20 grand and you can't take it out. And we almost backed out then. Travis, if you're watching this, thank you for hopping on a call and kind of walking us through that process. But man, it was that was one thing that made us almost back out. Um, Definitely Burr. You do it again. Yeah, Chris. Um, okay. What else went wrong on this one? We priced the rents too high. Like I mentioned earlier, we initially had them at $1,300, which means that it took us longer to refinance, longer to get tenants in, and longer to refinance. Um, our rehab also took 3 months longer than expected, which means that was an extra almost $5,000 in hard money holding costs. Um, just because our general contractor did have a lot of projects, and unfortunately, we were the small fish, and so I had to continue to eat $1,500 a month in interest-only payments. And again, this is not seeing the end game, right? So this was man, like change orders, change orders, change orders. Oh, another fun story. Um, Unfortunately, right, and this is one of the hard parts about being a landlord is that our tenants did live there for a long time, but we're paying significantly undervalued rents. Did not, as you can tell by the before pictures, did not maintain the property at all. It was a complete mess. There was deferred maintenance everywhere. Um, and so we did the tenants were on month to month, and so we did uh to do the construction, we had to have them move out. On move out, one of the tenants did kick down our garage door. So there was an extra $2,000 off the top on day one that we came out. Let's see here. And then to refinance this, I did want to keep this. This is in an LLC. So that's how we took title. It's in an LLC. And I didn't want to have it guaranteed by our personal names. I was also thinking that it would take less documents and less paperwork if I used a hard money product on their rental side. So this was through a different lender that still ended up farming it out to a traditional mortgage bank, but it is within our LLC. Um, but there was a lot more back and forth. It took another month and a half after that, longer than we thought, to refinance. I think it took on almost a month and a half, almost to 2 months to refinance the property. And we were still, again, paying interest only payments. So kept eating that. Although I guess, all things being said, it did appraise for $245,000. We did create $60,000 in equity. We do net as a partnership almost $700 a month in cash flow. So, with all of those problems, would we do it again? Definitely so. I don't know. Let me know what other questions you guys have. Let's see here. Steve says, "Did you have to pay for the damages on the garage?" Oh no, they did not pay. I don't even know if there was a security deposit. They were paying like $400 a month on rent. They were long gone. It would be way harder to just go after them for $2,000 than anything else. So we kind of just let that go. What other questions are there here? Bum, ba-dum, scrolling. Yeah, I mean, overall, again, this project took 8 months to complete. We're really happy with the turnout. Um, and it's been a good learning experience. And I'd say if you guys are thinking about doing a BRRRR deal, just make sure that you guys have a lot of reserves, especially on your first couple, just because you don't know how much what overages may happen, what surprises, like a broken garage door, could happen, or how long that refinance process could take. And I definitely want to make sure that you guys don't default on the loan, don't get overly stressed, and at the end, always calculate for worst case scenario. So for us, it was, hey, if we parked $40,000, 20K each, would it be okay? And then on top of that, did we both have, as a partnership, significant ways to offset any contingencies that come up? Um, that's also another thing that I would advocate for partnerships is that when things do happen, you can split that problem by 2 people, by 3 people, by 4 people. So all of a sudden your $2,000, someone kicked your garage down, now becomes a $1,000 bill, a $500 bill, however much you can mitigate the risk. Of course, it also limits your upside, but the goal is to learn in the beginning, and to really hone it in, figure it out, develop your systems, deepen your relationships, and then things only start to snowball and improve from there. Um, let's see here. How do we find our tenants? Our property manager, they manage roughly about 350 units out in Columbus, Ohio. So they did all of the advertising for it. With me being out of state, I know that especially with a baby, a full time job, and all of that jazz, I don't have the time and capacity to really be a good property manager. I would do my tenants a disservice. I don't know. I don't want to think about finding the bug guy and all that stuff. So I will say on the tenant side for our property manager, most property managers will have some type of leasing fee, whether it be 50, 75, 100% of first month's rent. Our property manager is also our agents, Roost Real Estate. So if you want to look them up in Columbus, let them know that I sent you. I'm happy to refer them out. If you want an email introduction, let me know too. But they take first month's rent as a lease up, as a for their advertising costs, and then after that, it's $50 a door for multifamily, 65 a door for single family homes. What is the zip code? Um, the zip code for this one, this is in the Park Forest West neighborhood. Message me, I can let you know, but it's in the Northwest. It's above the Lindens. So I know everyone talks about North Linden, but even more above that, as the area gets a little bit more, I'd say just a little more stabilized. Um, we found this one. It was nestled amongst a lot of single family, primarily owner occupied units as well. So definitely a good neighborhood to be in for tenants. Um, yeah, so that was again for those who just jumped in. Let me show you the before and afters, and then I will close this one out. And if you guys don't have any other questions, let's see here. Share screen. Don't show this again. Let's do the full thing. You guys see that one? Whoop. Okay, so this was the before. Really interesting, Something was leaking in the ceiling. Actually, I don't remember, but I think that was something from the bathroom. Um, we ended up doing, of course, new floors throughout, carpets throughout. This one actually also needed new windows throughout. Of course, the bathroom was just completely gutted, right? So, I think we kept the tub, reglazed that, new tile surround, vanity, toilet, and lighting fixtures. Obviously, all this just gets junked out. Oh, I will say another fun thing: if you guys are taking on um, a unit like this, 9 times out of 10, I'd say, like from the ones that I've taken on, the previous tenant leaves a lot of things inside there, and so we have to junk it out. Spend anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 junking out both sides of the garage and units before we can even get the contractors in there. Most of the mechanicals are in good shape. They're also using this basement that was unfinished as another bedroom. So something there. And I really wish that these would open bigger. So I think the kitchen's down below. Let's see that one. Can I zoom? Oh yeah, there we go. Let's see. That doesn't really do that much, but so a light gray throughout, LVP throughout, all that good stuff. Um, Here's the bathroom. You guys like the tile look? I think it's cool. It's modern. We'll see how long it really holds up. Again, I only did this because this was in a nicer area. I do have one that's in a more, I don't know, it would be in a more C area that I'm just doing a fiberglass surround over. But because this was nicer, I wanted to put in nicer finishes to have that different tenant base that's in there. Um, to bigger look at what the bathroom vanities look like. And this, I invest in, this is in Columbus, Ohio. Uh, that's where mainly our things are, but we do have a short-term rental in Joshua Tree that we're launching soon. And we're also looking at other markets as well for short-term rentals. Let's see here. And then one last, see this fridge? Whoops, zoom. This one doesn't want to go bigger. There you go. Way too nice of a fridge. And then where's that kitchen shot? And I did on that. Bang, 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 bang. Why is it not ordered? It makes me so sad. Come on. Nothing, 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 nothing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, come on. This is really hard while carrying a baby. So, please thumbs up this while carrying a baby because I'm sweating now, guys. That's pretty grainy. Not a great picture. I need to find actually where I saved the leasing pictures because they did a much better job. These are just from our contractor's property project manager, real quick. Um, but yeah, hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. DM me. I'll clean this up on YouTube and I'll make it better. But thanks for jumping in. On to the next deal. We are working on our flip in Columbus. There's a flip in LA actually that we're taking a look at. Uh, Thanks to my guy Mike out there. And then we are looking to a couple of the short-term rental markets just to get the cash flow rolling. So good luck on your guys' deal hunting. I hope that you guys find something good. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks, everyone.